Well, it's all about efficiency and productivity. We can't get too big a gear because we're only a small scale farm. So what we've got to do is we've got to get what we got, the most efficient way of doing it and the easiest way.
As you expand, I suppose, you look at economy of scale. How are you going to stay sustainable into the future? We've moved then to variable rate application on fertiliser boxes, stuff like that. Variable rate controllers on spray rigs, which brings more efficiencies.
We have about 6 or 7 tractors in total, but in those also we have 2 different systems of Trimble and Starfire. We've just recently got a new spray rig, and what the GPS has implemented for us also is section control, which is great.
10 odd years ago, we purchased our first GPS, basically making straight lines. With those straight lines, you can sort your farm out. Utilise the full width of the implement, so you had no overlapping. I put my first GPS in my cane harvester. My son entered the scene where he said, "Dad, we've got all this technology, why don't we do more with it?" So about 5 years ago, we bumped into Barry up in a Mariba field day, and he was actually doing exactly what we really wanted to do, mapping boundary lines and be able to utilise the information from one machine to another machine to the harvester, so they're all go to that block and it was all set up.
When we first started out, it was to drive in a straight line, and then we just realised how important it was to marry all the other components in with just driving into a straight line. Logging paddocks, logging what we do with the fertiliser. We have controlled traffic as far as planting goes and things like that now as well. Now we have a GPS harvester as well, so it's all married into one.
Hopefully, as we get time and everyone catches up a bit, we'll set up our new fertiliser rig on a front-mounted air seeder on scales, full variable rate technology, which then I can also put my liquid applicator onto the same frame, and it'll weigh to make sure my calibrations are right as we're going.
We've looked at more efficient ways of doing things, like right from water, fertiliser, spray applications, all those sort of input costs. Put accurate boundaries around paddocks, which has allowed us to use section control on our, especially on the spray rig. They're small things, but over time all these small things add up.
When we bought the farms, the problem that we had was the GPS systems were basically a shit show. What we found was we had just too many AB lines, so now I can have any driver, any paddock, goes in, simply types in what we need to do, and we're off and running.
I have 3 Case New Holland GPSs, and I have 2 old ag leaders, and they've adopted that information into the ag leader with boundaries and field finding, and it makes it so much easier. I can just jump from one tractor to the other and go to that paddock and it's there.
Very, very shortly, I won't say it will be this year because we probably ran out of a few funds this year, but we will go to yield monitor on the harvester as well, and whatever comes out of the elevator will be logged and data. Data is king, and that's what we're chasing all the time.
Once we correlate the GDOT information to the soil type, to the topography, and then I reckon we'll be able to really pick up with the variable rate stuff, because you're coming down off the paddock, you can see the cane gets like this. So there doesn't need much fertiliser, that needs a lot. So we're going to really kick goals in the next 12 months, I think.
With the new reef regulations, we can keep an accurate record of our fertiliser, applications, everything that we're doing that way. Spraying, obviously. We have a weather system in there also, so everything's integrated. We can have it all written down, all in the system.
You set a rate and you know what's going on at that rate. Everything's accurate, everything's recorded this day and age of compliance. So, it helps with that whole compliance side as well with government regulation too.
Wherever one of my machines are, like we track their cane harvester, which is harvesting about an hour west of us in Abergarie, and we could see exactly what that machine was doing and which block he was harvesting. And so they're the benefits that we're utilising out of our GPSs of today. I do intend now that I have a rate controller and stuff on the farm We rate control our billet planner as well, that eventually we'll probably put that and overlay that over the mapping, utilising more out of the GPS.
We want to go down the track of putting it up into the cloud and be able to retrieve that data whenever we want it. If I could just get one driverless tractor with GPS control that I could just do the hard work with at night time when I'm asleep, that would just suit me down to the ground. It would bring the farming into this century.